Good morning, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. We're here to take a look at the pitching for today, the 28th of June. It is Sunday, and we do have an 11-game main slate ahead of us today. Some East Coast weather, but I think all games end up all right. Hopefully we get an update in the next hour or two. Make things a little easier. But for now, we'll look at pitching for what it is. A reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now with all that fun stuff out of the way, let's just jump right in game by game. Washington, Baltimore. Zach Littell had been throwing the ball pretty well, and then the home run issues came back recently. I don't really like him having home run issues against Baltimore. Baltimore does provide some upside from a matchup standpoint, but I just don't think he's doing this again. And even then, he only put up 18 fantasy points because he only picked up 3 strikeouts. On an 11-game slate, I just don't think 18 is something that I want to get into my lineup. And plus, I do think there's some home runs hit by Baltimore in this spot. So I'm just not getting Zach Littell. On the other side, Kyle Bradish has been phenomenal the last 2 starts. Nearly 75 DK points. That's after a 2-start stretch where he combined for 0.8 DK points. So he's all over the place. When he's on, he's definitely on. 21 strikeouts over his last 15 and 2/3. Ton of upside. Fantasy points wise, like he's kind of been unlucky at home. It's really been his K numbers are down at home. Otherwise, his overall numbers at home are really nice. So Washington is a dangerous opponent, but that offense has not been the same as it was the first month and a half. They do still have some home run power. I think James Wood's struggling quite a bit. Luis Garcia just keeps hitting home runs. But I just think this spot lines up for Bradish to showcase some upside. Obviously, there's volatility with Bradish and the way that he's thrown the baseball this season. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. I will not get to either pitcher in this matchup. I don't care. Just no interest in pitching in this game. Potential weather, of course, but it shouldn't affect us since we do not want pitchers. Texas, Toronto, very similar to Cincy and Pittsburgh. I don't really want pitchers in this game. Kumar Rocker against a team that doesn't really strike out doesn't sound good. Bieber made his first start of the season 5 days ago. Fared horrendously. As much as I've been picking on Texas a bit with some pitching, maybe they don't have Wyatt Langford again, who was scratched yesterday, but Corey Seager's back, so the lineup instantly becomes just that much stronger, and I don't know. I almost need to play the wait-and-see game with Bieber, which is odd to see, or say, since he's been a Cy Young winner in the past. But I need to see Bieber put some starts together. Houston, Detroit, Hunter Brown, big time upside. Wasn't overly sharp his last time out, just 3 innings, 85 pitches. He's having a trouble getting deep into games. Even his first start this season, 4 2/3 and 102 pitches. Walk numbers are up. Strikeouts have come down in each start. But ground ball rate's still pretty strong. Detroit offers some K upside for him. I do think that he bounces back to the, 7, 8 plus strikeout number. I think Hunter Brown's an excellent play on the slate. Maybe a little volatile, but he's still an ace, and I like the upside. The other side is Jack Flaherty coming off the 15-day IL. The big thing with Flaherty is his strikeouts are there. I I did look at these splits before I started the recording, so I guess this player is not a first look. Um, Flaherty's been getting unlucky at home. Like his overall numbers at home are pretty strong. A 1.22 WHIP, 226 average against. Uh, I mean, a 12 K per nine roughly. Just everything looks really good except for when you see the ERA of 5.60 and 0 wins. So to me, that tells me he's getting a bit unlucky at home. There should be some positive regression coming at some point for Jack Flaherty. Whether it comes against Houston, I'm not necessarily sure. But he did throw 83 pitches in his only rehab start. Strikeouts were strong. Obviously, it's Double-A. But 5 2/3 innings, so he's pretty good. Probably should see 90, 95 pitches, I would guess. I think Flaherty's very intriguing for me today. Arizona, Tampa Bay. Drew Rasmussen at 10K is just wild in my mind, but he's been really good this season. I think he's just a bit overpriced based on that 3-start stretch where he put up 29 strikeouts in 21 innings. He generally isn't that kind of strikeout guy. He does obviously have strikeout stuff, but he's more of the type that's going to fall in the 5 to 7 range for strikeouts. And he does pitch for Tampa Bay, which means he could end up with just 87 pitches rather than this 102. He's got a little bit more of a wider range in terms of pitch count this season. So Arizona, not the easiest of matchups, but it's also not a matchup I'm avoiding right now with the way that offense is performing. Zero interest in Merrill Kelly. Absolutely love Tampa Bay from an offensive standpoint. Seattle, Cleveland, Gavin Williams, going to be super interesting. Seattle offers plenty of K upside. He hasn't been overly sharp over the last 3 weeks or so. Coming off of his best start in that stretch, still gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. Kind of back to throwing a lot of pitches early and often over the last 3.5 weeks. Completing just 5 1/3 as his highest outing, despite having 90-plus pitches in 3 of the 4 starts. 2 home runs allowed in 3 of the 4 this month as well. That's obviously concerning against a team like Seattle, who does have some power throughout their lineup. But I think Gavin Williams just has a ton of upside on somebody I'm super interested in, especially because he's pitching at home, where he's absolutely been phenomenal overall. Had a walk issue the first time he faced Seattle, which, is a bit of a worry, but that should probably correct itself. That seems like the outlier in that start because he allowed just 2 hits and had 7 strikeouts. So he corrects the walks from that start. I think he's in a pretty good spot. And then obviously he doesn't give up 3 earned runs because the walks are down. Emerson Hancock on the other side. I'm debating him right now just because it is the Cleveland lineup that's been so bad, or it just looks so weak. I can't say they've been so bad because the last week they've kind of done a little bit here and there. Hancock hasn't been very good of late. I don't know. I'm torn on it. It's somebody I'm debating. He could be the last guy in my pool. He could be the guy that I eliminate quickly. It's just tough to just instantly eliminate him based on, the Cleveland lineup that they do trot out there. Phillies and the Mets. Not really sure what the Mets are going to do from a pitching standpoint. So you have Tobias Myers and Kodai Senga who could cover multiple innings after Perez. So it's something to pay attention to, but I don't have any interest in any of those guys at this point. Luzardo on the other side looked pretty good the last 3 starts from a strikeout standpoint. Gave up 5 runs last time out, but struck out 13 in 6 2/3. Still put up nearly 26 DK points. So he has routes to give up runs and rack up fantasy points. I like the stretch that he's on right now. Obviously a little volatile of a matchup, but on the road he's been absolutely phenomenal. averaging over 10 DK points more per start on the road, allowing just 1 home run in 47 and a third innings on the road. That's just excellent to see. K numbers skyrocket on the road as well. Absolutely love the upside of Jesus Zardo. We do know that he is a bit volatile. He and Bradish, very interesting plays here in this mid to upper 9K range. Just because they have such extreme ceilings, but they have pretty low floors as well. Kansas City and the White Sox. I think a couple of guys that might go overlooked a little bit. Avila, the last couple starts, has looked pretty good. The White Sox are doing some damage, or had done some damage in this series. I think yesterday was a pitcher's duel. Avila is kind of intriguing as a dart throw. Might be somebody I sprinkle in. His overall numbers aren't the greatest, but the last couple starts have been pretty good. He made relief appearances against the White Sox already this season. Fared pretty well in those. He's been phenomenal on the road. It's just his home appearances that have been bad. I think a sprinkle of Avila is very intriguing because I do expect the White Sox bats to be somewhat popular. Anthony Kay on the other side, kind of all over the place. 2 out of his last 3 starts been solid. He's pretty good against the Dodgers and really good against Cleveland last time out. I'm going to utilize him. He put up like 25 against Kansas City one start and 15.5 in the other, I think. Yeah, 24.6, but he's actually been pretty good against Kansas City. And I do think Kansas City's offense has just kind of weakened a little bit. Plus, being left-handed, I think, helps other than facing, Witt, maybe Lane Thomas or Salvador Perez. But Anthony Kay's numbers at home have been phenomenal as well. I think he's a sprinkle in. I don't really love the price point jump for him, but I do think he's in play. Twins, Rockies. Not getting to Ryan Feltner. He hasn't been terrible this season, but he's not amazing by any means. He's been worse on the road. Connor Prelip is somebody I am considering, but I don't know if I'm going to get there. I obviously like picking on Colorado. I like using left-handed pitching against Colorado. Connor Prelip at home has been much better than the Connor Prelip on the road. About a K per inning. A home run every 8 innings or so. A little bit unlucky from a run standpoint because, a 205 batting average with a 111 whip probably should be an ERA in the 3s, but I think he's just interesting enough. I just don't know if I'm going to get there. Like that Prelip and K-Cat combination at that price point they don't really have the upside that a Jack Flaherty does at the similar price point. Cubs, Brewers. Cubs might be going kind of bullpen game. I don't know what to do with Brandon Woodruff. I'm sitting here debating it. I was way off of him in his first start back from the IL. Threw 79 pitches only, but managed 10 strikeouts. I don't think he's going to strike out 10 against the Chicago Cubs. So I am really torn right now. I am leaning towards fading Brandon Woodruff, but he's, out there for a debate with me. He and Hancock are my 2 big decisions on this slate. Miami, St. Louis, I don't have any interest in either pitcher. Neither team is all that exciting, but I think Miami doesn't really strike out a whole lot, and Leahy struggled against them the first time. He's better at home, but he still allows a ton of base runners. Not necessarily the thing you want when he's facing a team that doesn't strike out. Tyler Phillips was decent last time out, but walks are up there. He's not a big strikeout guy and can get hit by the long ball. Obviously, Philadelphia is a lot more dangerous in that regard than St. Louis, but still, zero interest in either of those pitchers. There we have it. There's our first look at the pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at TFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will drop links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off any MLB package, or Best Ball 2026 gets you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership. The Core 4 does include baseball, so there will be a link to our merch store down below. You can check out my design and some of the other stuff. Hit the comments. Let me know what you're doing with a guy like Brandon Woodruff. And as always, best of luck, everybody.